All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hi, guys. Say hi to our audience kung may audience man tayo. Hello. So
Yo!
it's our second podcast for the year, and we are celebrating Women's Month. Yay! Woo! So, kaya if you mapapansin nyo guys, for tonight, ako lang ang lalaki dito, the only thorn among the roses. So, and tonight we have a special topic where we are going to talk about women in creative. So hopefully, it's something na ma-enjoy nyo guys tonight, and hopefully, it's something that you will come home with some lessons. Wow, lessons talaga. So with that being said, let me just go ahead and introduce myself. I'm John B. I am part of the Level Up crew, and this is Level Up Geek Nights. And you can also find me on YouTube as the Christian Geek. And together with me, I have Maya, our resident TB Otaku. So,
はよ、こんばんは。
hi, hi. And we have a esteemed panel. Wow, esteemed panel of guests tonight. We have women from different walks of life. Wow. You know, at some point they are uh have shared their talents and treasures, no, in the creative field. So we have here Angel. Say hi, Angel. Yes. So Angel is actually siya yung gumagawa ng mga posters namin. So if there was anyone to praise kung bakit ang ganda ng posters namin, Angel 'yon. Wow. And then we have, of course, Coach Abby. It's the Geek Tita. Yeah. So we've had her before on this podcast, and we're glad to have her join us once again. Hindi pa rin namin matiming na magkasama sila ng magkapatid.
Yeah.
Pero okay lang
Hello.
'yan. Next time, sana. And hopefully Gio can join us, who is now coming from from the United States. So sad that he left us. Anyway, but he's not completely gone. And we have um Lance over here. Actually, Lance is one of uh ang mga nakakalaro ko with in role playing, and she's actually a very creative person in coming up with worlds for role play. Yes. So very creative din po 'yan. So welcome, good night this evening guys. It's really a pleasure that you can join us tonight. Um and hopefully you can enlighten us on what it means to be a woman in the creative field. That being said, simulan na ba natin ang unang tanong? Or maybe we should ask them una, isa't isa. Uh, siguro so that the people can know a little bit more about you guys. So, who you are and what do you do? Ano bang ginagawa nyo?
Yes.
Simulan po natin sa huling na introduce kay Lance. Hi Lance. So who are you and what do you do?
Oh my gosh, that's loaded. But okay, so hi, fans. I am also known online as with my tag as Wasabi Buns. I don't know why I came up with that, but anyway, I am I'm a corporate writer by day, so that's artistic, I guess. I'm an artist by night. Pwede na rin. I do some streams, and yes, that's how I met John. I run a lot of tabletop role playing games. If you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, the new D&D movie's coming out, so I think you're going to be familiar soon enough.
Plug
Uh,
agad eh.
yes, plug. That's what we do, and that's what I do with my life. My parents must be so proud. I'm done.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks Lance. Let's hear naman from Coach Abby.
I'm a proud classmate ni lands nung college. NGO. So I started that. Nepotism, hindi, joke lang. Um, but on the creative side of things, I have a very boring job as a senior accountant. Pero hindi siya ganun ka-creative unless you're like creating formulas sa Excel. But speaking of Excel, so I guess yun yung what got me into content creation was actually the intent to teach creative ways, I guess, to teach something as boring and as black and white as Microsoft Excel. So that got me into content creation. But during the lockdown, I found a community, Geek Talk. So we kind of that's why how things changed from the Excel teacher to a geek tita, because and I was able to like dive deeper into like pop culture and the things I love about it. Um, yeah, and then I play Valorant sometimes. So that's what I'm up to recently. So yeah, that's who I am. I played with you guys yung first game ever ko yata. And I messed up kasi hindi ko alam yung utils gamitin. But I'm practicing sa ano para next time makakabawi na ako.
Does Lance also play Valorant?
I play Animal Crossing and
That's
Stardew
cute.
Valley. And
Dapat pala
Stardew
nandito si
Valley.
Ninay.
I play Wolfenstein. That's the coolest claim I have. I have like 2 hours on that one. That's it.
Cool, 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 cool. All right.
Dapat pala nandito
So
si
next
Ninay,
we
no?
have
Kasi Animal
Sini.
Crossing.
Oh nga eh.
But what
Nina, where are you?
but she is busy with her cafe. So one of our mates, one of the group is actually running a cafe. So special plug lang. So if you are ever in Makati, uh,
Yes.
daan-daan kayo sa Arc and Vine Cafe. They have really good food, good drinks, non-alcoholic drinks, good drinks.
Actually, I would just like to shout out to Ninay kasi she is also a creative in the sense that how she plugs her her cafe sa content sa TikTok and however else she does her sales, 'di ba? Marketing.
They used to live near Arc and Vine, and
Oh,
their winner chicken dinner was amazing. Oh my gosh, I loved it. It was so good. I'm still begging Nina to give me the recipe, but of course.
Yes, so if you ever jump by or drop by rather, jump by. If you ever drop by, you can visit Vine Cafe. It's actually Googleable. It's on Google and on Maze. And they have really good food. Yun nga, yung winner porky dinner is one of the highlights. And there's also the winner chicken dinner. So yeah, yep. Anyway, last person, but not the least, Angel. Tell us more about you.
I think I think of all of us, ako yung may creative na day job kasi parang my day job is as a creative designer for CCF. I've been at it for I think 8 years now. Oh my gosh, like
8 years.
it's not dude. So I've been
Yes,
at it
ang
for
tagal mo na
8
pala.
years. Hindi halata pero praise God. Hindi ako mukhang
Hindi halata. Hindi halata yung 8 years.
Ayun, so yun, what I do basically is I set the branding and the visual tone for the series and everything else that you see in the church and in the satellites. So kami yung team namin yung naghahawak. Then other than that, um na, I also do freelance mural work on the side. But pre-pandemic siya nag quote unquote blossom. Pero ngayon because of the pandemic, so medyo chill na siya. So it kinda morphed into illustration work for videos and videos ng organizations or ng other people who have YouTube channels. Yun. So that's what happens to me. And then other than that, on weekends I also play. So ngayon I'm trying to finish Far Cry 4. Pero I tend to stop after an hour and a half kasi yung ano niya, yung view niya, yung first person view, hinang-hina ako, friends. Kaya parang, wait lang guys, tama na, mga 1.5 hour, which is kind of like a good thing and a bad thing kasi it's good because I don't spend so much time on the game. But it's a bad thing kasi I really want to play up to a certain point in the chapter o kaya matapos ko siya. Tapos, hindi ako makapaglaro. So, ayun.
Oh,
Yun yung
mahirap maging motion sensitive na, 'no?
Oo. Like, nagulatan nga ako kasi ano, parang hindi naman first time, pero I haven't played, a first play ayun, first person view game in a long time. Tapos when I played Far Cry 4, parang, bakit ganito? Sakit ng ulo ko. Tapos yun pala siya. So, there really is motion sickness a tendency when you play those kind of games. So, ayun.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I get to finish it before the year ends. So, tagal. You know?
Hindi ka
Isang year talaga, eh.
hindi ka pala
So,
pwede ng
yeah.
ano, hindi ka pwede ng VR. Ako baka mahilo ka
Oo.
sa VR games.
Oo. So, ayun.
Challenge pa naman yun sa mga ano, mga nagsusuot ng salamin. Hi guys.
Yeah.
Alright, awesome. So, although hindi naman lahat talaga yung work nila is related to creatives, they definitely have a hand in creatives, no? And I think nakakatuwa lang na that there are a lot of women in this field because I think when I think of creatives kasi or when I think of generally speaking, when I think of creatives, when I think of animation, or when I think of those things in relation, it has often been male dominated, no? So parang nakakatuwa na we see a lot of women now who are in this field or in this industry that are really able to express themselves. And I think nga parang medyo mas female dominated na siya nowadays compared to
Actually.
before. So, may katanungan ba tayo for tonight, ano? Maya?
Yes. Yes. Our first question actually is, how do you practice or exercise your artistry and creativity currently? So I guess that includes your day job. How is your creative um, how do you practice your creativity in that space, and but also yung mga freelancing activities ninyo, how do you practice artistry and creativity in that space?
Oh, yung gusto mag-jump in muna. At dahil walang nagsasalita, Angel, go.
Ivoluntold na yan.
Ayan, pero okay lang din kasi nga, yeah, with my day job, it's easier kasi it's parang hindi pwedeng hindi ako creative at my day job. Otherwise, they would have hired me for it. So,
Actually, yeah.
siya, the way that I siguro ano yun, express my creativity in that sense is, ano siya eh, hindi lang siya visually, but also, um, I get to think about yung all aspects of the design. Kasi sa amin kasi dun sa team namin in brand team, it's more on visuals, and the other teams, they work more on, for example, production and videos, etc. But for me, I get to express my creativity in a way na I don't only think about how it would look visually, but I would think about how it would it would translate in video, it would translate in messages, it would translate in many other things. So hindi lang siya yung how one thing looks like, or for example, a series looks like, but I also think about paano siya ita-translate ng younger ministries, for example, Next Gen in CCF. Paano siya ita-translate into a video by our production team? Paano siya ita-translate into a moving background by our live prod team? So, ang dami niyang, when I got into, ang dami niyang ano talaga, ang dami niyang aspects. And the funny thing is, when I got into this job, I started out as a graphic designer. And I was just parang expecting na I'm just sitting at a desk and then designing stuff. And I wouldn't think of anything else. Parang, sige, drawing tayo dito, tapos graphic design tayo dito. But then again, parang 8 years down the line, hindi pala siya lang gano'n na yung creativity isn't just like that. Ang dami mong kailangang isipin. Or not exactly kailangang isipin, but there are a lot of things that are fascinating to consider, especially when you think about a certain a certain series na or a certain product na you know that hindi lang ikaw yung gagamit or hindi lang yung, for example, sa amin, branch or main, hindi lang main ang gagamit, but there are other people who will be using it. Ayun. And siguro in side jobs, I actually am able to practice and exercise my creativity in a way na, ano yun, hindi siya mas ano siya, mas personalized. Kasi when you look at all of the clients that I have, for example, for illustration work in YouTube or in videos, etc., you would know na work ko siya kasi yung trademark na drawing, yung trademark na sulat, you
Mm,
know,
yeah.
alam mo kaagad na, "Uy, si Angel gumawa niyan," gano'n. So, nakakatuwa siya kasi in a way, um, personal siya, like alam mo na you can put your own parang spin into
Trademark.
trademark na alam nila na ikaw yung ginawa. Makikita lang yung sulat,
Yeah.
ikaw yung gumawa, which is fun. So, yun, masaya siya and sometimes it's tiring in a sense kasi parang especially kapag sa day job kasi parang alam mo yun, yung nauubusan ka na ng bala or naubusan ka ng creativity, you really need to rest. So,
Mm.
yun siguro na I really have to or in the creative industry, you really have to take breaks and take a rest, especially if that's your job or it's something that you're really working on. Kasi otherwise, mauubusan ka talaga ng bala and mababurnout ka, you know? Like, hindi naiiwasan yung burnout, but you can actually parang slow the process of parang hindi yung papatagalin mo yung panahon before you get to the point of burnout. Which is you can really just take a rest or take a breather and then come back stronger and come back with more inspiration with regards to your creative processes and your creative output. So yun, that's what happens to me.
Hindi talaga
Yes.
ano 'no, hindi talaga some people think na parang if you're in a creative industry, the field na parang isang snap of a finger kaya mo mag-produce ng something 'no. Pero sometimes
Yeah.
talaga it's a process 'no, hindi talaga siya something that you can just say na, "Ay creative ako, meron ako na na-come up kaagad." 'no. And or
Yeah.
else posible din ma-burnout. Yeah, 'yan.
Mhm. True, true.
I
Ano,
totally
I would also like to comment na, um, some people kasi parang they really don't like to mix their passion or hobby with their work eh. For someone who's very artistic and creative, syempre 'di ba, gusto mo na meron kang freedom to express your work, your artistry. But when you get into a work or a job that yun yung passion mo nandun din. Parang ang hirap na you're doing something na supposedly nag-enjoy ka but then because of its work nagiging ano siya, obligation siya para sa and it becomes for a long time or the long term parang it suddenly becomes tiring or nababurn out ka. So and si Angel being ganun talaga yung work niya. She I suppose na you take really seriously then yung rest days mo, right?
Yes, like I learned that the hard way kasi I used to when parang siguro in the early years I really used to push myself na sige weekend work sige let's go ganun.
Mm.
Care if you want me to come in on a Saturday and a Sunday na hindi ako nagre-rest sige go. Pero I really learned that the hard way kasi someone actually rebuked me and told me na you should take your rest days and you should take your lunch break seriously. Kapag yung lunch break mo is 12 to 1, you get off of your desk, you get up from your desk, and then you spend it like wisely. As in, magpahinga ka. Kasi otherwise, like, you're killing yourself. Dude. Parang, Tito, I'm so sorry. Kasi Tito talaga yung sabi sa akin. So, I really had to learn it the hard way. Na you really have to rest. And as much as possible, when you take that rest, you take your mind off of things from work. Kasi sometimes we do take the rest, pero yung our mind wanders towards the things that we have to do at work, the things na kailangan ko tapusin, yung lahat ng labada ko, lahat ng kailangan kong gawin, gano'n. But kaya nga siya tinawag na rest kasi ano siya eh, it's a different space or it's a different state of mind than the state of mind and the space that you are in when you're working. So siguro it goes for all of us nga talaga. Regardless if you're creative or not, that we really have to take our rest days or our rest periods, our lunch breaks, our snack breaks seriously. Kasi we need to rest. We are really need to rest.
Thanks for that, ano, no, for that tidbit. Kailangan talaga na mag-rest. Lalo ng mga titos and titas of, ano, mga elder millennials. Hindi po tayo mga Gen Z.
Di po tayo bumabata.
No.
But may question ako na pumasok sa utak ko, and this is for everybody, no? And it's something that medyo sumagi sa akin when Angel was talking. The idea of what are your thoughts or yung idea where people say, why don't you monetize your creative passions? Yun. Ano yung thoughts niyo doon on that idea? Let's ask Lance.
Do
Nakamute ka,
that.
Lance. Ayan.
Hello.
Yeah.
So whenever they ask me that, well, I tell them I do. I do monetize my passions. I know it's not the best thing. I've seen a lot of people say that they're burned out about monetizing their passions and whatnot, and it does happen. Um, and in my experience, it happens for several reasons. Like one of the first reasons, so let's say about my art. I actually draw and I have stickers. I have very cute stickers like ta-da, bread. I paint, I draw. That's what I like. I like drawing bread. It's weird because I'm allergic to gluten, so I just draw it. Uh, what do you call this? Hindi siya mabenta. It doesn't sell as much, honestly, in conventions. People like the cooler, more meme stuff or the more popular ones. And it hurt me at first, and then I started wanting to draw more popular things. But that gave me no joy at all. And that's one of the reasons why you could be burned out when you try to monetize your passion is when you start looking for the likes, looking for the clicks, and looking for the cash, which are all important. I'm not saying they're not important, but what do you call this? It kind of kills you inside a little bit. Uh, yeah, I think that's my take on it. You have to be very careful in monetizing your passion. You have to stay focused on the first reason why you did it. When I started doing it, it was because I wanted validation as an artist. Because I never considered art to be my full time thing. So when I started doing it, I wanted just validation for the art. Hindi na validate kasi hindi na benta. But I kept doing it. And then nauso yung meme na kuso sa TikTok.
Ayan, ayan, ayan.
Also,
My bread stickers started selling like crazy.
Yes,
Yes, thank you, TikTok. I love you.
finally.
Yeah. So that's my experience when it comes to monetizing your passion. Abby, do you have something on this?
hindi ako ka
Thank you,
nagdadab
TikTok.
si Abby. Oh.
Thank you, TikTok ulit. Yeah, because my content creation journey started on TikTok. So, I measured that before when I was here before lockdown, extra few hours because I don't drive to and from work. So, the 1 minute video on TikTok that time, kasi wala pa yung 3 minutes, 10 minutes na nga ngayon. It was a challenge for me to, like, before I pass away, ma-pass on ko yung alam ko about Excel. So, that's the whole thing. Medyo morbid. Pero ganun talaga yung fear ko na parang before ako kunin ni Lord, may ilagay ko muna lahat ng alam ko. But in terms of monetizing, I get this question a lot kasi a few years na tayo sa TikTok. Medyo okay naman na siya like with the following and stuff. And people are asking parang, ba't hindi ka mag full time? Ba't hindi ka mag full time? Because I'm not that good with being so disciplined sa boundaries ko personally. I know I would grind so hard kung mawawala yung day job ko. That's why I feel like this is for my soul. Parang ano siya eh. I used to say, may narinig na rin akong creatives na parang you have to do projects for coin, you have to do projects for your heart. Pero I call it ano eh, three for what's sold, one for the soul. Parang may ganun akong concept. So, for example, tech item. Madalas sa TikTok, I do like unboxing of tech items kasi that's one realm I'm into sa TikTok. Doon ako kinahon ni algorithm eh. Like, edu and tech. Dito ka. So, nandun yung algorithm ko. But, I have a separate account where all I do is geek out. Like, when I go to screenings, dun sa main account, I glean yung lessons, I talk about the lessons. Dun sa dump account, I talk about yung montage ng event and stuff like that. If I go to a concert, the one on the main channel, that's yung gusto ni brand. Now you talk about the mga deliverables. On my dump channel, I just do the fan cams, I do the like memifying of the interactions on stage and stuff like that. So, ganun siya. Parang, although technically hindi siya three for the soul, ay three for the coin, kasi ay three for what sold, kasi mas marami akong post doon sa dump account. But, it's ano eh, you know how your lungs, di ba, when you have to inhale, pero may exhale ka dapat. So, ganun siya for me. And sometimes kasi yung, no time na I wanted to tick off all the formulas sa Excel na 100 plus videos in like 3 months. That was all inhale. Like parang, ano yung next formula, next formula. Last year lang talaga ako nag-start dun sa, like, how, parang it just flows kasi when you talk about stuff you like. Instead of just always parang you have to learn this, ganon. I want people to allow themselves to enjoy stuff din. Dun sa isang part na yun. So, yun lang. Kayo na mag-decide kung ilang number for what's sold before you have the what's for your soul project. Pero, yun. Pero hindi naman sa binibenta yung kaluluwa. Hindi ibig sabihin, like for the heart. Pinilit ko lang kasi I'm a very punny tita. So, kailangan may pun siya dun. So that's my
Legit naman.
Yan.
It shows. Legit funny tita.
Yeah, very very funny. Yan.
Katuwa naman ano. I noticed that in what they shared din. Um, ano eh, there has to be a balance between what it's really for you versus yung naghahabol ka ng likes, clicks ng ano, ng mga demands ng mga audience mo, no? And there has to be that balance, no? And it's not just purely about the work or else yung passion mo nawawala eh kasi parang pag ginawa mo na lang siyang work parang ubos ka. And I think burnout happens then when that's the case, no? What do you think, Maya?
Yeah. Actually, ang cool lang that they have kind of made a system for themselves na to kind of like um compartmentalize kung ano yung for them, kung ano yung for monetizing, and ano yung for ano talaga for reaching out to people and reaching out to souls, 'di ba? So, which I think is a good time to interject the second the second question na how does your faith and beliefs affect your creativity? So, ano yung creative process nyo doon? Paano nagiging, ah, paano naaapektuhan yung creativity nyo with your faith and your beliefs? Yan.
Sure, let's ask Abby first.
Sige. Sa akin kasi it's about yung the whole concept of expressing instead of impressing people. It has to be yun dapat pinaka-core. As they teach us Messiah. Dapat integrity talaga. Like parang kunya, me as the content creator has to be the same me as a coworker. Like I can't like talk about this is what I do sa career ko or stuff like that. And then sa work hindi ako ganon. Or I can't like be so generous in teaching stuff sa videos pero pag coworker kayo nagpagawa ng spreadsheet ayoko siya tulungan. It has to be yung core mo talaga. Like meron ka dapat core stuff na parang alam mo talaga. And then living with guardrails, living with boundaries, that's key to me. Kahit madalas 'to nangyari kasi like brand deals and stuff, may mga tempting, like, if it's ako personally, I've turned down, like, gambling sites, so some social sites na medyo iffy. If I discern something na parang hindi siya within the safe boundaries then of what I stand for and what I believe. And yun talaga siya. Like, if it's a tech product, I don't use it, I won't talk about it. It doesn't matter if you pay me for it. I need to get the sample first. I need to test it out before I talk about it. So, yun yung ano, more of like deciding to start a project, dun pa lang a lot of people fail na. Pero in terms of yung, sabi natin creative process, sabi nga sa Chronicles of Narnia, di ba, a true scribe is never seen without a pen and paper. So, ganyan kami nila Rans dati, parang ang dami natin yung naming notebook at kung ano nung notepad at sticky notes sa mga bag. I think yun pa rin yung core thing ng creative process. Like, you have to be always ready for when something comes up na parang, ay, pwede ko tong gawing content or pwede ko siyang pag-usapan. So, I guess yun yung process. Like, wala naman siya, for me wala siya nung parang sobrang templated na ito yung ganito, ganyan, ganyan. I have that for like Excel. Pero for the more like creative pop culture stuff, it's more of like, ano talaga, it has to come from a place where I truly enjoy something, I truly believe something, para mag-flow lang siya. Tapos, yun nga, living within the boundaries, yun yung faith and belief thing lang talaga. Like, I don't cross certain lines. I still try to be the same Ate Abby na kilala rin ng mga people, like even in church or yung mga friends, hindi iba yung nakikita nila sa screen sa kung sino ako, sa totoong buhay. So, I hope that answered the question. Pero yung
Yeah,
process,
it actually
gano'n lang talaga.
does. Mahirap actually maging um yung attitude or behavior ng integrity kasi a lot of the things in this world can cause you uh stray from kung sino ka, what you believe in, and the standards that you stand for, standards, your faith, ganyan. And I think that it really is a, a, a a wonderful thing for someone who's visible, very visible in social media, to really stand for integrity din talaga. And as you've said, yung impressing versus expressing, na yun yung desire mo to be out there, to be popular and everything. It causes you to stray from from integrity. But then because you're grounded in your faith and your beliefs, that's what causes you to be ano to stand for the things that you believe in, and yung integrity in the place that you're um doing your creativity, right, John?
Yep. And sorry, nag-unmute pa ako. Yep. And looks like we are being joined by the Bear of the North. Joke lang. Bear of the North, Northern United States. Hey, Gio, are you there?
Aw.
Thanks.
Hey, Gio, our resident bear.
So I don't hear
Sleepy pa,
any.
sleepy.
Good morning. Morning. No.
Ay,
Morning
yes,
nga
good
pala.
morning there. Good evening here.
Hey, Gio.
So Gio is joining us straight from his sleep stream.
Yes.
Dapat i-monetize na rin natin
Coffee
yan,
pa yung
sleep
ice.
stream. Alright. Pero let's hear naman from Lance about with that same question. No? Ano nga yung question natin ulit? Maya? How does your beliefs or your faith affect
Affect.
um your artistry?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm blessed enough to be working in a company that actually champions a lot of good things like inclusion, diversity, women's rights, all of those things. And I get to champion different causes that way. Whenever I have a corporate writing job, so it doesn't sound that creative, but um, there are actually a lot of chances for me to be creative with it, especially when it comes to pushing my what do you call this? Well, not maybe not pushing, championing my beliefs. Like for example, inclusion and diversity. I've started including asking for pronouns when it comes to corporate messages, corporate emails. It's just I know by normalizing asking for pronouns, I think it really helps uh, other people do the same. Like they see it in an email, they see that it's something new, but it opens the doors for them to start doing the same. So that's what I do for my corporate job. When it comes to my art, I'm actually very excited to talk about this. What do you call this? Um, I don't want to stand up. I don't want to stand up, but stand up. I should have prepared some of my art. But what do you call this? I what do you call this, during the pandemic, I think everybody went a little crazy during that time. I mean, honestly, that was so unexpected. During that time I completely spiraled in a bad headspace. What do you call this, it was just so bleak, and I turned to art to get me through it. So I started drawing things. Naghahanap ako ng example. I love it. Oh, you know what? Here's the closest thing to one of them. This is a little. Oh my gosh, I forgot what this is called. The little Japanese doll thingy.
Daruma. It's a
Dar-
Daruma ba?
yeah, exactly. So basically, I started turning to things like that. I started carving out my feelings in rubber to make rubber stamps. I have a lot of them, none of them within reach, so I can't show you. But the thing is, I started to carve my feelings. I started to really get into mindfulness. Really try to figure out what was going on in my head. I also got professional help, which I fully advocate. Um, and they turned out to be some of my best sellers when it comes to conventions. People call them tarot cards. It's so funny because not all of them are tarot card related, but they kind of do look like tarot cards because I'm very into spooky stuff, esoteric stuff and whatnot. I love it, skulls, pentagrams, and whatnot. Um, and when they see it, they seem to resonate with it, and I start telling them that this was born out of meditation and a lot of what do you call this, a lot of introspection. So when they see it, they somehow resonate with it, and when they bring it home, I try to tell them the stories that about how what I went through when they buy my art. Like I carved this when I really needed strength, when I really needed to remember that I have to protect um I have to protect who I am from outside forces, like, being true to yourself, keeping your integrity. Oh my gosh. It's basically a photo of a flame and hands kind of protecting the flame, and it's yours. It's your spark. It's who you are. You have to protect it from the world, even though the world's going crazy, because in the end, you have to survive. And that's what I tell them. And I hope that whenever they see that art, when they go out there and they put it on their laptops, their water bottles, um, I would like them to remember that. And somehow that's what they tell me. So I'm assuming that's where we're at. And that's how I spread my beliefs and my faith through art. Exactly. You really have to look into yourself to figure out, look into yourself, like spend time in meditation and try to figure out, what's what are the most important things, which is something I think that got revealed during the pandemic. What are the things that are really important to you? So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think I think really it's really I like the idea of spending the time to meditate and being introspective of your identity. And I guess from my perspective, then just to add, I'm sure we have a different perspective on this, but from my perspective, it feels as well like it's understanding as well who your identity uh in Christ from a Christian perspective, who you are, who God made you to be, right? And knowing what that is and not being influenced by the world simply because that's what the world or society dictates you to. I think
I
pandemic
haven't.
was sorry, God.
Sorry. No, if I haven't made it clear, I'm no longer a traditional Christian, as you might say it. But yes, exactly. Based on your beliefs, you need to know who you are in Christ for for you, and for everyone else out there who might not be as into the traditional Christianity. They need to figure out who they are as well.
I think that helps us keep grounded, especially ng pandemic. Ako personally, the pandemic just you know, there was just a lot of outside voices, and it was just a you know, difficult time, I guess. And yeah, siguro let's move on to Angel and ask her about how does her faith and her beliefs affect her artistry, her creativity.
According to the job order chart. Well,
Oh,
very day job.
CEO.
Job order.
Like, pero, pero kidding aside, siguro, um, it would be best put, uh, put shortly by something that my small group leader had told me when I was still volunteering for a ministry. And it's still something that I stick to with with regards to how I do my job, creativity, and how I do my art. It's really ano yun? Let everything that you do be something that you are not ashamed to put on the altar before the Lord. So that means everything in my job. Like all of the designs that I do, all of the videos that I do is something that I would not be ashamed to present to the Lord. That Lord, this is something that I have done in my day job as a church worker, or this is something that I have done in my freelance job as a muralist, or as an illustrator, as an artist, or this is something that I did even when I didn't have anything, or I was just doodling randomly some verses or some drawings in my iPad. It should be something that I am not ashamed to present to the Lord, because at the end of the day, all of the things that I do in my work, all of the things that I have with my family, all of my relationships, every output that I have with regards to my skills and my talent, I'm ultimately accountable to Him. I'm ultimately accountable not only to my day job, which is the church, but I'm also accountable to the Lord. So that's how faith and my beliefs really influence the way that I do my art, and that in the way that I am creative. And also, like, practically, for example, I have tried, but I haven't continued yet, but I have tried to what do you call that, um, join the 30 days of Bible lettering, like, over the pandemic, because it was such a crazy time and I didn't have any output with regards to art. So there was this one artist in Instagram who was Stefan Kunz, who was a crazy letterer. He really does really good lettering work, and he has this community, which is a community of artists that do letterings of verses for 30 days. So I tried to do it, and it was something that didn't it was something that didn't encourage me just in how I do my art, but also encouraged me spiritually, because I wasn't just lettering those verses or those phrases for the sake of, okay, I have to do this for today, but I was also able to mindfully meditate on those verses and really write out a caption that isn't just for clout, and just write out a caption that's biblical in a way. So it was encouraging in that way that I was able not only to express myself through lettering and art. But I was also able to be better even at lettering because when it started, I was like, okay, sige, gawin natin to. Sige, okay na yan. Pero parang pagdating ng day 30, parang, oh, who is this girl? Who did this? Parang ganun. Like, I learned a lot of things because I was also looking at the other artists who were doing the same challenge and I was picking up the things na, pwede pala tong gawin in lettering, pwede pala tong gawin in art. And I was trying to practice it. So pagdating ng day 30, parang, sino gumawa niyan? Hindi ikaw gumawa niyan, girl. Parang ganun. So, parang, ang gandang isipin na it wasn't just a blessing for me in terms of spiritual, in the spiritual sense, but it was also a blessing for me in the terms of creative things, of in the creative sense. Kasi I was able to learn not only from Stefan Kunz, who was like the the quote unquote head of the community, but I was also able to learn from other artists and connect with them as well. So ayun, basically, other than yeah, yun nga, like it boils down to again TLDR. Anything that you create would be something that you are not ashamed to put on the altar before the Lord. So yun yung sa akin for me is like the banner or the parang objective every time that I do something. So yeah, that's
Ang ganda nun.
yun.
Ganda.
Diba?
Ang
Pero,
ganda. Hindi, ang
i-
ganda. Tsaka,
isipin mo,
hindi, ang ganda kasi
pero
pala
that's a
ano.
lot. 2012 niya sinabi sa akin yun and it really stuck with me. Kasi regardless of what you do, parang kunyari, kung gagawin mo yan ngayon sa iPad mo, papakita mo sa kapatid mo, would you be ashamed of that thing or not? Kasi kung if you're ashamed of the thing that you have been working on for countless hours and you call art, then anong sense niyan, di ba? Anong sense niyan to the Lord? Anong sense niya? Parang yun nga, that ito. Yun, like, something that you are really not ashamed to put out for other people to see or for the Lord. So,
Ganda, ganda ng ano, ang ganda ng thought, no? Na parang hindi mo dapat talaga siya itinakahiya. And it's not something na parang, ano, and you would be proud of it even if, ano, you know, even if there is criticism or feedback about it, di ba? Yun yung idea. I
yeah.
think that's such a beautiful thing to think
Mm.
about. No, this is what I've produced, and I'm proud of it. And this is something that I'm also proud to show to the Lord, and I'm proud to show to the world. And regardless of what the world has to say, wala hindi ako ano, dala. So Maya,
Ayan. Thank you, ladies, for sharing your creative processes in terms of how your faith and your beliefs affect that creative process. And so, um, time check lang, 8:23. So I guess we can have our ending statements na. Um, if you have any message to your siguro followers or anyone who might, well, may followers, syempre, 'di ba? Kasi nga visible kayo sa social media and everything, 'di ba?
and
So, is there anything that you want? Sorry?
no, go on, go on.
Ayan. So, if there's anything that you want, well, the whole, sino ba yung mga viewers natin dyan? Yung mga nanonood sa atin na you would like to encourage them or maybe um, you would like for them to learn from you as a creative um, person. Ayun. Ayan, baka meron kayong message or any encouraging words for our viewers. Any siguro we can have Angel muna. Ay hindi, mamaya ka na. Hindi, hindi, siguro si si Coach Abby na lang.
Followers. So,
Yeah, for I mostly kasi na followers ko more of like learners and those already like working or prepping themselves for work. Um I guess yung in terms of creating kasi you have I guess I agree really dun sa sinabi ni Angel that you kind of acquire skills by like pushing yourself then tapos doing 30 days na challenge hindi siya madali like you have to exert a lot of effort discipline and stuff. um Pero it's more of like, eto talaga yung year, I guess 2022 was the year na because everything was kind of opening up and stuff. Hindi na kami people like from sa likod ng phones ng mga tao. So again, we have like activations, we have events we go to na talaga. It was way harder to remain true to yourself. Kasi the world, hindi lang the world, but the social media platforms, they're trying to push you talaga into a box we call algorithm. Um,
Yeah.
sobrang tiny nung box na yun, lalo na sa TikTok. Like, even if it's like tech, we have TikTok people na pag puro headphones yung pinag-uusapan nila, if they switch to a mouse, hindi magpupush yung mouse. Dapat headphones na pag-uusapan yung buong buhay nyo. And stuff like that. But if you want to create, it has to hindi tayo ex nihilo eh. Si Lord lang yung may kaya ng ex nihilo. So, you are who you are because of what you've been through. And kung saan ka galing, dun ka magaling. Yun yung sinasabi ko lagi. Like, whether it's something negative or positive, kung pinanggalingan mo siya, you can use that, utilize it, maximize it to create something, to take back control and say na this time I'm using this for this. So, let's be good stewards din ng lahat ng experiences, lahat ng learnings and stuff. Exert effort if you want to. And if you want to. Exert effort kasi you need to. It's easy kasi to brand yung creativity and I need to work in the creative field kasi hindi ako pang day job, hindi ako pang 9 to 5, hindi ako magaling sa math. Parang ginagawa siyang escape without thinking na mas mahirap yung grind to acquire the skills you need to be an artist. Like, trust me guys, accountant kami ni Gio. Pero, hindi siya ganun kadali. Hindi siya ganun kadali. Like, you want to get away from math, so pupunta ka sa art. Bakit walang rule of thirds sa photography? Walang,
Hoy, aray, aray.
like, there is parang order in a lot of stuff. And, you have to still grind, di ba? You have to still grind. So, much love and respect to everyone na nasa creative field and yeah, in my content creation journey, ngayon pa lang ako talaga technically na-exposed to that except for like my music past, which is behind me, literally behind me.
Literally.
But yeah, yun nga, if you really love it, sabi, our call kasi sa Geek Talk, your community namin of creators na geeks, if you love it, talk about it. So, you have to really love it before you try to talk about it and to live it out. So, yun.
It's true. Yeah. Thank you, Coach Abby. How about si Lance?
All I like plugs, so I don't. Uh, is this the part where we plug stuff?
Pwede, pwede.
Right. So, new Dungeons and Dragon movies with Chris Pine coming up. The Greasy Snitches, my gaming is actually working in partnership with Paramount to bring you the D&D Tavern experience in Mega Mall Fashion Hall,
Whoa.
March 25 to 26. We are having bards roam around singing. We're having miniature painting. We're having free Dungeons and Dragons games that are all newbie friendly. And we're going to have so many activities and maybe, let me check if I'm allowed to say this. I think I am. Maybe official D&D merch swag for you to win. So,
Ooh.
be fun. We're so excited for it. Um, okay, so all of you are, most people are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons one table experience. There's the dungeon master, then there's the players, but in this particular event, we are having an epic event. Now, an epic event is a multi-table event where you all are basically fighting one big bad as an army. You're helping the other tables. You're sharing the experience. It is amazing. I suggest you play D&D before you watch the movie that's coming out on the 28th or 29th, and it'll really change your experience. So this event is completely free, March 25 to 26, Mega Mall Fashion Hall. Can't miss it. That's it. And don't find me or follow me online. That's fine.
I, I ako
Nice.
personally,
Thank you, Lance.
I'm excited for the movie Actually, this next few months, parang sunod-sunod yung mga good movies that I'm looking forward to, and Dungeons and Dragons is actually on the list. I have Shazam on the list as well, and the Super Mario Brothers movie. So these are
Hmm.
all in within the span of a few weeks, right? So I'm excited for actually. Hopefully, it's not as bad as the original Dungeons and Dragons film that came out with Jeremy Irons. If you remember that movie, that was so
I've
bad.
heard of I have heard of it. You know what? I don't know if you know Vince Houson
Yeah,
from yeah, he actually loves that movie. Go ask him about it. He loves that movie.
it's so cheesy and so I don't know. But yeah, and Jeremy Irons does a good job of hamming it up to 11. But it was such a badly written film, so I'm hoping that
Okay,
the newest movie is going to
it's fine. So that's a plus. I don't know. We'll see. Um, my dearly beloved friends will kill me if I don't say this. Please follow Greasy Snitches for all your gaming, tabletop gaming related needs. We don't sell stuff. We run stuff. We play stuff. Okay.
Okay.
At Greasy Snitches, you'll be able to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. But I haven't posted anything there. So.
All right.
Oh,
Thanks,
I will sing it
Lance.
the plug. I will sing it a
Yes.
plug. I forgot pala. So
Go.
Geek Talk pala. So we'll be some of our guys will be attending then the the premiere and the event with Greasy Stitcher. So medyo like connect. But we also have a WrestleMania watch party on April 2 and 3. So you can follow Geek Talk PH na lang sa Facebook for more details about that. Sa wrestling fan, alam ni Gio yan. Nako-confuse lang ako. Pero, pero that's what we have sa Geek Talk community. You can check that out na lang din.
Awesome. Definitely will be following those pages. And final words. Oh, before the final words of Angel, can you show your shirt, Angel? Can you show
Wow,
your shirt?
this is like a really old shirt.
But I
Teka,
love it.
there.
Influence is not identity. Fake news is not real facts. Lies is not equal truth. I love it. I feel that it kind of fits our discussion as well today. It's not about the influence. It's about the identity, your identity. Awesome. Anyway, final words.
Please, please, guys, Level Up Game Nice, please follow on Facebook. Yes.
Yes.
Ayun,
Yeah, thank you, Angel.
because you're a part of this ministry. But ayun, siguro, for me, just an encouragement, like for everyone who's into creative stuff or drawing, storytelling, content creation. Everyone who's even trying to create stuff or just starting out. Like an encouragement is that yung journey ninyo, your creative journey, will never be the same as the creative journey of everyone else. So kapag if you look at everyone else's journey or someone else's creative journey and you think na, bakit siya at this time, eto na siya pero ako eto pa lang. Like, don't get discouraged because hindi naman kayo sila. So, don't be afraid to be slower than them, to be much more obsessive about your hobbies or the things that you want to talk about. Don't be afraid to be different than them. Kasi the world really will, or like everyone else really will think of you differently. But ano ba yung mas nagmamatter? It would it matter if you think of yourself differently, or would it matter na the things that you put out are things that you are proud of, the things that you know that you have worked hard for, and things that you know that even if a couple of your friends na kahit di lima lang sila or pipito lang sila na nag-like, basta the people that matter to you, they like the things that you put out, or that they approve of the things that you put out. So don't also be afraid to yun nga, experiment with things, to learn and to upskill na you, para hindi kayo yung naka-steady lang sa iisang point of creativity. Kasi when you look at the creative trends talaga, even yearly, it really changes. So it pays for you to really upskill and try to learn as much as you can from everyone else. But at the end of the day again, you are not those people. So you have to go through that journey in the best way that you can and in the most creative way that you can. And surround yourself with really creative people and people who would encourage you even though you make really crappy stuff, that you think you make really crappy stuff, but they still encourage you to do it. Like, so to the point that you'd make less crappy stuff. So you surround yourself with those people. And also, like, lastly, again, magpahinga kayo, guys. Kayo mga creative people na kayo, content creator na kayo, mga artists, and everyone else who are dabbling in the creative field or in something creative. Don't forget to rest, please. Like, your body will thank you for it, because your brain will also thank you for it, because at the end of the day, parang you owe it to yourself for you to be refreshed so that you can make more content and that you can learn more and you can, like, live longer, and also yun nga, put your art out to the world and do the things that you are able to do, or things that you would love to do and that God wills for you. So ayun, again, TLDR, magpahinga kayo,
Aww.
wag kayong matatakot na mag-grow, wag kayong matatakot na to learn things, and don't compare yourselves to others because your journey is your own, not theirs. So yeah.
Awesome.
Grabe, parang para sa'kin yun, Angel. Char
After this, matulog ka na.
hindi lang yung rest. I mean, like, actually, I was very excited about our topic for this podcast kasi I also dabble in art and dabble in art. And sobrang I appreciate yung mga the people that I follow on Instagram. Sobrang ang gaganda. And totoo yung sinabi mo na na iba yung journey ng artist na to sa journey mo in the creative process kasi like I see people na 20 years old pa lang sila na sobrang gaganda na ng mga art nila, 'di ba? Ako 10 years older ako, like, asan yung art ko dito? Parang baby ka pa lang ba? Nag-aano ka na, nag-art ka na. Like, sobrang nai-insecure ako. But, ayun, sobrang thank you for that encouragement. And even for, for those who, yun nga, are starting out in the creative space, sobrang encouraging yung message mo na, it's a really wonderful process then in terms of improving your skills, your art. And thank you so much, ladies, Coach Abby, Lance, and Angel, for sharing with us your lessons in life, your creative processes, and how you navigate in the creative space. So maraming salamat.
Yeah,
John?
I think ano lang, I just also want to just natuwa lang ako sa sinabi ni Angel about yung not comparing yourself to the others, no. One of my biggest regrets sa totoo lang when I was younger, I had an art teacher who said to me na I really have an eye for I was doing pastel pa nun. I really had an eye daw for art, and pero kasi tamad na tamad ako. Tapos 'pag nakikita ko compare ko yung sarili ko dun sa ibang mga parang ang gaganda lang sa kanila. Yung sa'kin parang, what the heck? So I never pursued it. And sa feeling ko regret ko dun is I never put in the time to really improve in it. And so parang because nagpa-influence ako sa what I saw with other people. But I think it's parang ngayon I'm a writer. So one of the things that I do is creatively is in writing. And some nowadays when I look back at I remember doing writing fan fiction back in 2005, 2006. Fan fiction ng Slam Dunk. Tapos when I look at my writing then and my writing now, I'm like, oh my gosh, nakakahiya yung writing ko before. I can see the difference because na-improve ko yung art ko in writing eh. Na parang I learned how to be more creative in my writing, and even in my when I'm doing like website articles for as a freelancer, I noticed the difference with what my skills were before versus now. So talagang tama si Angel that our level in terms of the art, if it's your art, if you enjoy it, just continue improving and don't compare yourself to others, no? Kasi talagang madi-disappoint ka talaga no, if you try to do that. And I think it's also in terms of your maturity as well in your life. Sometimes mayroon tayong tendency na i-compare natin sarili natin. This person, ang dami niya na na-achieve, ang dami niya ng ano in success in life. But we have all our journeys, iba-iba yung movement natin sa journeys natin. And perhaps ako ang realization ko, maybe I wasn't ready for the kind of success that I want at the time, no? And that's why I don't have it. And maybe now I do. So, parang ganun. So parang it really is about meron talagang part doon na it's about improving ourselves, no, and knowing our identity in terms of the art that we make, no? And the creation that we make, and hindi siya dapat it shouldn't be because of others, it shouldn't be to please others, no, but it really is about ourselves and how we please the ako for me at least also to please the Lord. Yun. So thank you guys. We really enjoyed your time here, and hopefully we can invite you guys again for another topic. I don't know, something geeky that we can talk about. But thanks for the plug. So again, may plugs tayo for tonight the Geek Talk, and we also have the Dungeons and Dragons event sa Mega Mall Fashion Hall on the 25 and the 26. Definitely we'll try to drop by then. And if you guys play games, if you want to hear devotions on Christian, or if you just need a support group, join us here at Level Up Game Nights. And we're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy, and it's a safe space where everybody is welcome. So you can join us at Level Up Geek Nights, Level Up Game Nights. We are on Facebook and we are also on Discord as well. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining us and see you next time. Bye bye.